we're not successful unless that new agent's successful or that agency
Correct.
that we bring on. If they're not successful, we're not successful. So one of the things is I got to understand their why. So if I'm
Mm.
speaking to an agency owner who's bringing on a product line of ours, or it's just a brand new agent that's never been in the industry, or maybe they've been in the industry a really short period of time but haven't had the greatest success, but they know in here and in here that they're worthy of great success. If we can partner with their why, we can go far, we can go deep, and we can help them be successful. We sincerely care.
What is up? Welcome back to CA Power Player Podcast. Today I have a special guest who has achieved a lot in multiple different industries and had a ton of success helping insurance agents just like you write and sell a ton of insurance while making a ton of money and creating generational wealth and leaving a legacy and doing something special. So please welcome the executive managing partner from Game Changing Benefits. Such a cool freaking name, Dallas Trosper.
Thank you so much, man. I'm so excited to be here. I've been looking forward to this interview for quite a while.
Me too, man. Like I've been able to get to know you and Aubrey and all you guys got going on, and like, the company in general. Like I've known you for years, and I've been impressed, with your guys' executive team and leadership and the different management and all the different agents, that you're helping. Like it's really cool. So appreciate you being on.
Awesome.
Yeah, buddy. So for those that don't know, Dallas Trosper, how did you I would love to know your story, but then also at some point, like how you ended up in this whole crazy world of insurance too.
Sure. It's kind of a broad term, insurance, right? Means a lot of different things to a lot of people. I'm going to attribute it to my dad. My dad was a vice president of a bank, but he always had a side hustle. He sold a little bit of real estate and a little bit of insurance, and insurance was his side hustle. So probably like many of your viewers, I told my dad, I will never be in insurance. Don't bring it up. I don't want anything to do with it. I want to go my own path. I thought I was going to go play professional basketball or do something different and fun and exciting, right? Because in my mind, insurance took my dad away from our home and my quality time with my dad. So I didn't want anything to do with it. So long story short, I had my first child, and then my dad comes to visit, and he said, son, I want to go to an insurance meeting in Dallas, Texas. He's not great at driving in traffic. Could you give me a ride down there? I'm like, sure, Dad, I'll give you a ride. So I'm wearing a tank top, flip-flops, and shorts, and we pull in the parking lot. And my dad says, well, I think it's a luncheon. They're just having an award ceremony. You want to come in and get some free Olive Garden? I don't turn down free Olive Gardens. I love that salad dressing, right? So I said, sure, I'll go in there. I grabbed a plate of food, sat in the back of the room. They had an award ceremony. And for that quarter, the number one guy wrote $133,000 of business. And I leaned over to my dad and I said, Dad, what kind of commission or what part of that 133,000 is this guy getting? And my dad said, well, son, I think 50%. And I said, are you serious? How come you didn't tell me there was this much money in this industry? That was on a Monday. The meeting was on a Monday. I got my temporary license on Tuesday, and I wrote $10,000 by Sunday night.
Wow.
Yep. True story.
You moved quick, man. That's crazy.
Yep. Sometimes you do need to move quick. I was pretty motivated. I was pretty hungry. So it's your perspective. I thought it was really, really easy. The gentleman that was on stage, I hope everyone has had those moments. And you look at me and you said, man, if that guy can do it, I can do it better. That's how I felt when I looked at that guy. I said, man, if that's your number one guy, I can dress better than that guy. I could probably walk backwards faster than that guy, walk to that podium. So I can do this. Let's go.
Yeah. Have you always been that way where you're like, dude, do you see somebody else be successful? And you're like, you know what? If they can do it, why can't I do it too?
I think so. It's that muscle of exercising that your try muscle is what I call it. I'm not great at everything. But I've got a pretty strong try muscle. So I've tried lots of things, which means I failed at lots of things, which means I kind of know my lane. I can stay in my lane. So I got a pretty big try muscle.
Yeah. I also think you just mentioned something that I think is gold and a huge takeaway for our audience already is like, I truly believe that the faster you do something, typically the more success you're going to have with it because there's urgency involved. You're excited about it. You're not thinking about it. The longer you wait and think, the more you're going to probably talk yourself out of it.
Yeah. You're so right. So you've heard that phrase, fail forward. I like to use the phrase fail fast forward, right?
I like that. Fail fast forward. That's good.
Yeah, write that one down. Write that one down if you're hearing that for the first time.
Fast forward.
Right.
If this also, if for you guys that are listening to this later, man, if you or right now, like if you end up If you haven't heard that, fast forward. Let me know in the comments below. Say, you know what, I haven't heard it, but I love it. Or you know what, I haven't heard it and I don't like it. I don't like Dallas. Or I love Cody, but I love Dallas, hate Cody, whatever. Or I still like the Dallas Cowboys. I don't know. Are you a Cowboys fan on that note?
Born and raised, man. It's my dad's fault. Once again, my dad named me Dallas. My mother was smart enough not to name me the name of a big city. On the third day when we were leaving the hospital, she was asleep. They had not yet agreed to name me. So while she's asleep, Dad signed her name on the birth certificate. When they got home, she was like, "Oh my gosh, we forgot to fill out the birth certificate." My dad said, "No, we didn't." I went ahead and named him Dallas.
Oh my gosh, she didn't know.
Nope, not till she got home.
Wow. So I've got a buddy. I've only heard this twice. I've got a buddy in Springfield, Missouri. His name is Dallas, and he is also a big Cowboys fan. Yeah, it's cool. Wow, that's nuts. Okay, so you jumped into insurance. You had pretty quick success because you took some action really fast.
Sure. Go ahead. Do you have a question?
Yeah. What happened after that? Like, you know what I mean? Like from there.
Yeah. So immediately, power of association. So I was associated with the group that my dad was with. Might not have been the best group in the world. I was a recruiter by nature. I had recruited physicians in the past, so I started recruiting a few agents as well. I had about 25 to 30 agents. I'd say about 25 full-time agents at that time. We were doing about $100,000 a month, but no one explained to me there was an override involved or I could get an override. And sure, my mentors were welcoming me in the room and always had a place for me to sit, but it wasn't until about 6 months in the business when I started realizing I wasn't really maximizing my potential per se. We had wrote $100,000, I remember 3 months in a row, and someone asked me about my override, and I'm like, yeah, I write a lot of business. I don't know what override is. Can you explain that? So long story short, I wasn't with that group very long because I was looking to build a team and get an override as part of my income. Then someone suggested, hey, man, you're pretty good at this. You'd probably be pretty good at this other opportunity. Why don't you go interview at Fidelity Investments? They're hiring. So long story short, I thought, well, I'm just moving up the chain of success, right? So I'll go to interview with this big O Fortune 100 company, got hired and started working there at Fidelity Investments. So I wasn't doing insurance there. I was doing what's called ECM, Emerging Corporate Market, selling 401ks and that product line. So I don't know how much time we have, but I got some pretty good stories around how we developed game-changing benefits because of my experience at Fidelity.
Yeah, I'm actually curious. And how well did you do at like going from insurance and then transitioning to Fidelity,
Sure.
more as like an advisor, so to speak?
Sure. So, like I said, I was a part of a group called ECM, Emerging Corporate Markets. There were 244 people in my division, and we were cold calling, needed to speak to the owner or CEO or the absolute decision maker so we could get them to move their 401k over to Fidelity. So in 2007, I was a salesman of the year for my department. I sold $54 million new 401k money brought in and closed at Fidelity. 100% from a cubicle. My cubicle was the last cubicle on the end of the row. My elbows could touch the walls. It was a cubicle that probably wasn't meant to be there. My headset was crappy. I had a plastic line and you had to straighten it for them to hear me. And if I didn't straighten it, I had to have to repeat myself. So I spent most of my day with a straight, with my arms at this position here so they could hear me on that headset. So I had the worst headset, worst cubicle, and I closed 54 million. Ironically, second place out of 244 people sold and closed 23 million. Michael Jordan's my favorite basketball player, so I've always remembered that number 23. I doubled second place, and the other 242 other people were far, far less than that. Here's what's ironic. I wasn't more talented. I wasn't more skilled. There were people who had worked there for multiple years, had multiple connections and relationships that probably should have done it. But my secret, it's one of the secrets I share in our training, is my why. My why was bigger. It's pure mathematics. I love physics. And it's physics and mathematics. If your why is bigger than the obstacle, what's going to win?
Yeah.
Yeah, my why is going to win over time, whether it's a secretary, whether it's a no, whether it's a decision maker postponing me. But if that excuse is bigger than my why, what's going to win?
Yeah,
right.
Excuse. Yeah.
So a unique takeaway, and this really spurred one of the reasons why we started Game Changing Benefits, is the gentleman on the other side of my cubicle. He had been there for 3 years prior to me. Guess how much money he closed in 2007, the same year I closed 54 million. Ready? Got a guess? Got a number? It
10?
wasn't the 23 million. It wasn't 10. You were close, except you're just 10 million off. He closed zero. He's been there 3 years longer than me. He made more money than me because we had base salaries, and every year you got a little raise, corporate America, right? He made more money than me. Here's the kicker. At the end of the year, we got a bonus because we hit our team goal. Everyone on the entire floor got the same bonus. So I'll recap. He made more money than me monthly and annually. He got the same bonus that I helped our team earn. And guess what? The bonus for me bringing in $54 million and him closing zero, $815
Each.
You talk about pain, you talk about hurt. Like I thought I was worth more than that. $815 after what I just did.
Yeah.
But, hey, that was corporate America. And I was tired of my buddies calling me on a Friday saying, hey man, you want to go golf? Or whatever day it was. And I couldn't because I was in my cubicle. I was working. So I thought, you know what? Man, I had a taste of what that was like selling insurance. I got to get back doing that.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So
Yeah. And one thing I heard too, though, is like he probably had better equipment. He probably had a little bigger cubicle. He probably didn't have to hold a straighten a piece of plastic on, to talk.
he had great equipment and he had great headphones because I could hear his music pretty much all day long. The reason I knew that a manager was walking on our floor, his music would go down and I could actually hear him. So true story.
Got it. But
yep.
you didn't focus on the negative. Like you just
I knew I was worth more. Surely some of your viewers at one point in their life, it could be right now, could have been in the past, or it can be in the future. At some point, you recognize, man, I'm not flying with the Eagles, man. I think I'm worth more than what I'm currently getting paid. So I actually went to work for a couple of different companies. None of them actually were, I guess, treating me what I thought I was worth. So I got with a buddy of mine, Aubrey, and I said, Aubrey, here's what I want to do. I want to high five somebody. Whenever you make a 3-pointer in a game, you get a pretty good high five at the timeout or whatnot. I want to high five somebody when they make their first sale. I want to high five somebody whenever they have their greatest month ever. Like, let's make this fun. Let's make it non-corporate. And by the way, if you want to go golf on a Monday or a Tuesday or a Wednesday, let's go do that. Let's champion that. And let's go meet them out on the golf course. Let's have fun because I've tasted it. I know it's capable. So that's how we created game-changing benefits.
That's good, man. And then you guys predominantly pre-COVID sold face-to-face.
Yeah, so that was our business model, sitting down at the kitchen table, 100% face-to-face. We had a very large product line. So one of our concepts is if we could sit down with a family at that time, find out what they needed, let's not push a product on them. Let's find out what they need, do a needs-based selling system. And in all honesty, we have more than 1,000 different products to offer. So there's no family we really couldn't sit down with and put in a better position, especially if they're sincere and they'll give us the time to look over their current needs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But then COVID happens. Let's talk through that.
Yeah. So that wasn't part of our business plan. I don't know too many people who planned years in advance. So I've been in this industry since 2003, and then we started game-changing benefits along the way. But COVID was not part of our plan. So most people thought we were going to go out of business. Most of us thought, man, if we can't go do our sales model, which is 100% face-to-face, what in the world are we going to do other than just cross your fingers and pray that the government's going to let us go back out there? Man, after 1 month, 2 months, 3 months of hearing that, man, we never heard the news that we wanted to hear. But in the back of my mind, I was like, you know what? At Fidelity Investments, I closed $54 million in 1 year. We've got way more products than I was able to sell over the phone. I think it's going to be an easier sell. So it literally took us about 2 months of failing forward fast. And by the way, we had to fail fast in order to move fast. So that's, I have a lot of emotions attached to failing forward fast. It helped us out. So we created a lead generation system. We're able to make sales on the phone and do the consultation on the phone. Like I said, we have over 1,000 different products to choose from. So if somebody has a need, we can definitely fulfill it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, y'all were transitioning to phones and figuring it out because that's what y'all do, which is cool, as a lot of people were. We met at some point during all this, and I was able to get involved and help and be a part of the company a little bit, which was cool.
Yeah. Let me stop you there. I want to stop you there because you're a major part of our success. Thanks, just for our company to be able to learn from you and your sales strategies, you took us from what I'm going to call a baseline of post-COVID, how in the world do we navigate this new environment, to that next level. So I really, really, really want to give you kudos where kudos is due and say thank you for helping us go to that next level in our sales team and our process.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Yeah, appreciate that a lot. It was a blast. You all have a great team, fun. freaking amazing name, probably the best name in the industry. And just a company, that cares and it's good people and like wants to see agents win and wants to help them prospect. There's like a lot of
We're,
companies.
we're not successful unless that new agent's successful or that agency
Correct.
that we bring on. If they're not successful, we're not successful. So one of the things is I got to understand their why. So if I'm
Mm,
speaking to an agency owner who's bringing on a product line of ours, or it's just a brand new agent that's never been in the industry, or maybe they've been in the industry a really short period of time but haven't had the greatest success, but they know in here and in here that they're worthy of great success. If we can partner with their why, we can go far, we can go deep, and we can help them be successful. We sincerely care.
yeah. What on that note, what tips would you give to an agent out there that's like, um, I mean, if you started in 2023 and you're new in the last 9 months, 8 months, it's like you could do face or phone. More people are doing phone now, I feel like, than ever before.
Yep.
But there's still some that do both. But what advice would you give to somebody that's like, you know what, I'm kind of scared to transition to telesales and phone sales?
Sure, sure. Great question. I've had lots of those conversations in the last 6 to 12 months. It feels like when they're asking me a few questions, they want to know what's your lead system, right? They want to know what's my contract level. These are all generic things
Yeah.
that all of us big FMOs in the industry have. Yes, we have a great product portfolio. Yes, we have what we believe is the absolute best platform for leads. We've got online leads, we got live leads, we got live transfers, we got direct mail, et cetera. We've got it all. But that's just transactional. If we give you a contract, we give you a number, we give you a little bit of training, right? We want to make it transformational. So if I can
Mm,
partner with their why, you got to know your why. So if you don't have one, you got to find it, and I can help you find that. So I'll spend a little bit of time trying to figure out a why or create a why. Sometimes it's reawakening a why they had in the years past, and then your why is going to change. So we'll come up with a why for the next 12 months, and then we'll do a 3 month why. I'm sorry, a 3 year why and a 5 year and a 10 year why. And they change over time. So if I can partner with their why, and they know they can change someone's life for the better and get paid doing it, and they're their own boss. That's why they got in this industry. Typically, they can go far. So know your why, partner with your why, remind yourself of it every day, and go change someone's life for the better. And I mean, that just echoes with our name, game changing benefits.
that's right, man. Yes, it does. I like that too, from transactional to transformational. That's good.
Mhm.
I've never heard
Can
that.
can I share a story with you? Speaking of
Please. Please.
transformational, this was right before COVID happened. This story is the wind in my sails when I have a bad day, and I have a few every now and then. I'm human. But this story of this client is the energy that keeps me going. So I had an appointment. It was at 12 noon. It was in Valley View, Texas, which is about 30 miles north of Denton on the north side of the Metroplex. It was a trailer house. I get there, knock, knock, knock. Nobody comes. Well, there's a car there in the little carport. The television's on kind of loud, and the door's open. So I'm looking through the glass and I knock a little bit louder. And I thought to myself, maybe they're in the back bedroom. I knocked twice. They haven't came. And that TV's loud. I think the lead card said they're like 80 years old. Probably they're hard of hearing. So I'll just knock super loud. I knock super loud, one of those edgy, almost too louds. And right at that time, 80-year-old lady comes around the corner pushing a walker. She wasn't happy that I was knocking that loud because she had heard the first one, but it took her that long to get to the door. So I go, she opens the door and I ask for forgiveness, saying sorry about that. And she's not too happy with me at the moment. And she said, we got to hurry this up. Go sit over there at the table and I'll be there in a second. I got to get back to work. And as I'm walking over to the kitchen table, I said that, man, why in the world is this lady working? So I said, ma'am, and her name is Barbara. I said, Barbara, why in the world at 80-year-olds are you working? And she said with a straight face, and this changed everything in my career. She said, well, you ought to know, you idiot. You got to work 40 hours a week to keep your Medicare benefits. No, you don't. I said, repeat that. She said, well, you have to work 40 hours a week to keep your Medicare benefits. I said, Barbara, that's not true. Who told you that? She said, well, on my 65th birthday at my work, she worked for the hospital in town, or the rehab hospital in town. The human resource department told her, even though you're getting on Medicare, you have to work 40 hours a week. Well, they were correct in the fact that if you want to stay on that group plan at the hospital, she had to be a full-time employee and she had to work 40 hours a week to keep that plan. But no one educated her on the benefits of her Medicare benefits and supplement. She worked for 15 years of her life from age 65 to 80 because somebody gave her bad information or never took the time to help her. So long story short, I canceled all my plans the rest of the afternoon. I called 2 or 3 people, had them come over, had a family member, had her son come over. We changed this woman's life. We helped her get on her Medicare supplement plan. We helped her with her life insurance. We helped her with a home health care policy, and we helped her call in and retire from work. She never went back.
Oh my gosh. Shut up.
Yep. I can tell you right now, if I drive through Valley View, Texas, I can give old Barbara a call and I can have a glass of sweet tea or some cookies or something. I have an open door. So we changed her life. And you can't do that with every client, but we try to let people know, when you change someone's life, you change the trajectory, not only of their life, but what about their family members? What about the beneficiary?
Yeah.
What about the grandkids that may not even be born if we did like a wealth transfer or a trust for the family? So changing people's lives.
Gosh dang, dude, what a story. Well, Dallas, this has been fun, buddy. I've loved having you on. If someone's like, hey man, I want to learn more about game changing and game changing benefits or Dallas and everything you're doing, or they want to look you up online, like if they just have questions, what should they do?
Yeah, reach out to us. I mean, contacting us directly, 940-465-4458. Going to our website, obviously, but going to LinkedIn, checking out Game Changing Benefits on LinkedIn. We're looking for new partners. We want to partner with the right people, of course. We have an amazing product portfolio, thousands of products. We got the highest commissions in the industry. We've got the greatest AI, the latest and the greatest technology platforms, landing pages for all of the sales reps and agents that come on board. But most importantly, I think the greatest value, why they should give us a call, we're going to help you go from transactional with these contracts and the black and white part of it to transformational, changing lives and helping you and your team reach your goals.
I love it. Ladies and gentlemen, Dallas Trosper. Dude, thank you so much for your time. Appreciate you coming on. It was good to hang out and get caught up.
Yep. Thanks, Cody.
Appreciate you, buddy. Okay. Thank you guys for listening to the Power Player Podcast. We will see you on the next episode. Adios.
Hey, if you enjoyed this, I got another one you're going to love. It's right there. Click on it. See you in there.
I'm so excited for today's CA Power Player Podcast. I'm your host, Cody Askins. We got a special guest. He is back on the channel talking about how to sell life insurance from home. Here's what I love about this person. Okay, I'm telling you, this will be one of the best.